Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Above the Bar podcast, where each week we belly up to the bar with a new guest, find out what they do, who they are, and what makes them great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Above the Bar podcast. It's your host, Sean. We've bellied back up to the bar here. It is October 5th, I think, 5th, yeah. October, or no, God, it's November. Good Lord, I don't even know what month it is. It is November 5th. We're bellied up to the bar here. And as always, we've got to have somebody wonderful, stupendous, somebody who's got a story to tell us. So joining us all the way, and just for my buddy Isaiah, wherever he's at right now today, we have somebody from Khalifa because he's in Houston, and I'll say it that way just to harass him. So joining us all the way from California, we're going to be talking about, do you have what it takes to take control of your life and the situations that you were handed and make those situations better, just like our guest did. So I'm trying to find these new media buttons that they've moved my stuff around. So joining us all the way out there from California, and she doesn't have her middle name, but we had her whole name in this thing. Miss Jennifer Elizabeth Valdes.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Absolutely. So we're going to be talking about Jennifer. If you're interested in gaining a little bit more as we're talking, you can find her Instagram is at From Jenn, 2 Jen, Gen, and you can find out what she's got going on there. As always, folks, take a moment, like, share, follow, do all those cliche things because it does matter. All right. Your phone's getting that feedback again a little bit. So just so you're aware. So let's see if we can change that. Let's see. Does that work better? Let's see. Whatever that is, that's better. Where we go, we're good. All right, so let's talk about our sponsors. As always, folks, over my right shoulder is the big board for Sticker and a Cause. You set something you're supporting, something you believe in, something you need other people to know about, and it's got a sticker. You can reach out to me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, Instagram. Our website is theabovethebarpodcast.com. Our email is theabovethebarpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what you got going on. We'll read all about you on the air for others to know about you. It's free advertising. Doesn't take much to do it. Just send me a sticker and we'll let everybody know what cause you got going on. Also, we got to talk about our sponsors, and that's Budget Blinds. And we've got Budget Blinds of East Greenbush, Hudson, Coxsackie, Schoharie, Clifton Park, and Delmar. Good Lord, there's 5 of them now. And they're here. Did you know it was a company that started out of Southern California?
Really? Well,
Yep.
where are you going out here? I need some blinds.
Well, if you go online and go to budgetblinds.com and you type in your zip code, it's going to take you to your local Budget Blinds. They're going to let you know what they've got going on. Everybody runs a little bit of a different sale and they've got different things. Actually, if you're in the where is he at? I can't remember. My buddy's in Palm Beach or he's in West Palm. No, that's Florida. Palm Springs? Which one's California?
Palm Springs.
Yeah, Palm some shit. He's out that way, and he actually was a Marine also. His name's Lloyd. He owns that one out that way. But you reach out to your local. If you're in the capital region, you reach out to your local Budget Blinds. You let them know they're belly up to the bar. They're going to give you an extra 5% off your order. And for the month of November, everybody's got their Black Friday sales. Well, they run it all month long, and they've got what they call triple 50. That's 50% off of one shade, 50% off of installation, and 50% off of shipping. So if you've got that big annoying window that you've been sitting on and you're like, I don't know, I guess I'll get to it. Well, this is the month to give them a call. This is where you're going to save some money at. So reach out to your local Budget Blinds. They're doing everything from blind, shades, shutters, drapery, window tint, you name it, they take care of it. And as always, folks, make sure you tell them you're there to belly up to the bar. All right, Miss, do you prefer Jen or Jennifer? Are you Jenny from the block? We need to know this.
Jenny from the block.
Which one is
I can't tell you how many times I've heard that.
I
I'm Jen. Jen is fine.
Jen is fine. All right, Jen. So kind of get into a little bit here. So now I didn't get to tell you. If you see me looking to the left, I promise I'm not ignoring you. I have all my notes about you over here.
Oh, you get
So
notes? That's not fair. People
listen,
bring
so
notes.
listen, I'll tell you a funny. It's funny you went right to that. You don't know how many people come to me and they're like, "So I'd like to do an hour interview with you before the show," and I'm like, "No," and they're like, "What?"
Oh,
I'm like, "No, no, no. I don't talk to you before the show because I need to be as surprised as everybody else when you start telling me things that I never knew. Because if I
yeah.
sit and talk to you for an hour beforehand, I have 0 interest in talking after
Well,
that."
the spontaneity is out of the conversation.
That's it.
Yeah,
I need this to sound fun. I need this to sound interesting. I need people to be like, "Wow, look at
right?
his reaction. He didn't
Is
know
in
that
your
one either."
seat.
That's it. So, but what I'm looking at here is the same stuff you sent me. So, first generation now, this says Hispanic American. Where's your family originally from?
So my mom is originally from Spain, and
Oh,
then my
okay.
biological father's from Cuba, but I was raised by a Brazilian man.
So
So
you
I'm
cook
on the
like
but
you cook all kinds of shit and dance
this
your
is
ass.
correct. This is correct. And I'm also multilingual.
Oh, let everybody know that Spanish in each one of the in Brazil is Brazil's Portuguese though, isn't it?
It is Portuguese, yes.
Good Lord. So you got Portuguese, s- Cuban Spanish, Cubana,
Mhm.
and then you've got proper Spanish.
Correct.
Good Lord. How many times did your mother have to correct you when you would say stuff with like a South American Spanish like way of saying it? And she was like,
She still does it.
that is absolutely
Yeah.
hilarious. My, my oldest son, Sean, he lived in Puerto Rico for a while, and it was absolutely hilarious to me, him living in Puerto Rico, because this is a kid I'm 5'7" and a half, he's about 5'5", red hair, and speaks Spanish. So he was
Okay.
living in Puerto Rico, and you can already imagine where this is going. People would be like, "Oh, the redheaded white kid," and whatever else they were saying, and they'd be my son would just sit back and wait, and then he would turn right around and speak to 'em, and they'd be like, "Oh,
I
oh,
can
you
relate. I can
yeah."
relate.
Do you get that mistaken sometimes where people are like, she's not Spanish, I'm not gonna she doesn't know
Oh
what she's"
yeah, all the time. More so in my youth though. I think now as I've gotten older, the older generation is more, they are more approachable. But when I
Gotcha.
was younger, it was more of a like, oh, she's not Latina, and I would bust out the language,
Now, why would like looking at you, as we're watching this, and look, folks, if you're joining us, make sure you give them that like, share, follow, all those things. And you can find Jen at From Jen to Jen, Gen, right there on all your social media locations. But why would people have said that? Like, I mean, to me, you look Spanish.
Thank
Unless you were
you.
unless you
No,
were in New York, unless you were like in the mid-Atlantic, and then we'd have called you
yeah.
Italian.
Well, I think it was more of like, so I grew up in Glendale, California, which is predominantly like old Hispanic, but also Armenian. Yeah.
Okay.
So most of the population here is Armenian. So they wouldn't think that I was Hispanic. They would think that I was Armenian, and
I could
that's
get
okay.
that.
I mean, I lived here my whole life, so I understand the language. I wish I could speak it. It's such a beautiful, strong language, but it definitely there's a reason why they put their babies in school so young to keep the language alive in their communities and stuff.
That's interesting. The Armenians that I've met, I've always mistaken for Italians.
Well, yeah. I mean, they have the prominent noses and it's the chiseled chins. I'm just thinking about the men here. Sorry.
Hey, it's all right.
Women are
Listen,
beautiful too.
listen. I respect that completely. That's where you went with it. But it's funny because like that's something that I've noticed. So, but but I'm kind of curious here. Tell me a little bit about. I think I'm a firm believer in it takes pressure to make diamonds. It's the natural way of the world. But you were 15, and where this says escaping abuse and homelessness. Help define what that means for you.
Oh, I've struggled with that. That's something I've written about in pages and journals. So, basically, I don't think I'm special because I'm not. Everybody has their hardships. Everybody's lived through their things. I'm sure there's many of you watching right now that grew up in homes that were not pleasant, and have didn't run away from home and seek choose homelessness over being a child that had a home. It was definitely a decision that I made, and I don't encourage this for anybody else. I don't think this is the way you should, I don't want to be idolized and have people think that that's what you do is run away from situations. That's definitely not what I'm advocating. But what I do want to say is that was a decision that I made for myself, that at that time in my head was the correct decision, because it was like a switch, like a calling to myself, where I realized that if I was going to continue down the road that I was on, in the situation I was in, there was a possibility that things were going to get very bad for me, and I wouldn't be able to mentally come out of what was happening. It was a mental break. I had realized that I needed a change because I was losing my ability to reconcile with reality within myself at such a young age. Now,
Wow.
when you are raised in an environment where you have to cling to faith as your center, I don't want to go into too much detail because, again, this isn't a sympathy podcast show.
Listen, but go
But
into whatever you want to go into, because I mean, I've
yeah,
heard that before. Like, was this like a cult or something you were in?
no, not at
Oh,
all. No,
okay.
not at all. It was just the circumstances of
Okay.
being the first, the elder daughter
Gotcha.
yeah. Um, anyway, so I found myself asking myself, okay, is this how I want to keep going? Or do I just want to go out there and chance it on my own, find out what's out there? Maybe it'll be better. So it turns out it wasn't. Um, I slept in parks, in laundromats, couch surfed among adults. Thank I was very fortunate to come into a community of individuals that it was a homeless community, really, and children that were, of broken homes themselves. So we kind of came together and lifted each other and fought for each other and stole for each other. And it was just kind
Oh,
of like,
wow.
I'm actually writing a book about it. It's going to be called We Were Fearless. And it is about those group of homeless teenagers that I ran with at that time in Burbank, California.
It reminds me of gosh, there was a movie back in the 90s that had kind of that feel to it. Alyssa Milano was in it. And it was about California. They were all homeless, but that one had a different vibe. Heroin was the center point of that one in the 90s heroin epidemic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
So
more,
for us,
little more
it
the
was the
center there.
methamphetamine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you had all that, you know.
Yeah.
You
That
mean it
that was
wasn't great
me.
and glorious like they made it seem on what was the hell is that? Breaking Bad, where it was
Oh
just
my
every
gosh. Breaking Blood was glorious.
That's what that's one of those kind of things they try to make all that they try to glorify those things. Look, I'm originally from Baltimore. I tell people all the time that I think the only reason my city is so has such problems that it does is they've made too many TV series about it to make
Mm,
it where they're like, yeah, this dude's a bad dude and shot everybody. Well, dude, I guess that's why we're gonna act in Baltimore. Like, no, please don't.
yeah.
Like, I love my city. I really do. But so you go through all this. It sounds like even though as tough as a situation that it was, you you found a way out of it. How did you figure that like, hey, this is great. It's great to have this support system, but this isn't me.
I think again it stems back to my early childhood where I had a very strong connection with myself and with my spiritual, wanting to believe that there was a greater power out there that was watching over me. I really think that I have always been able to go back to that in times of struggle and of self doubt. It's really been what has pushed me to this point that I can be on podcasts and talk about how I got here. There were a lot of times when there were people doing things around me that I wasn't comfortable with, and I would get called out for it on occasion. You don't belong here. What are you doing here? You're not doing what we're doing. And it was kind of like, I don't want to. Like, I see what's happening around me, and what you guys are how you're benefiting from what you're doing, and it's really not the path that I want to choose. I'm just here because I kind of have to be, in a sense. It was where, life was taking me at the time, probably to learn the lessons that I needed to learn in order to be who I am now, to impart the wisdom on others,
So
hopefully.
you're kind of the observer of
Exactly.
everything that
And
was
that's all
going on.
great writers, right?
It's interesting, and I've known people like that in my life where they're like, "Yeah, all my friends were doing fill in the blank things. I just watched it. I didn't wanna do it. I just wanted to see what was gonna happen." So it
Mm.
was that kinda situation. So how long were you in that before you were like, "Okay, I'm tapping out of this. This is."
So, to be honest, the minute I got in it, I was on my way out of it. Like, I hit the streets at 15. Legally, you're not supposed to get a job until you're 16. But there was this Jack in a Box I had my eye on.
Oh, Jack in the Crack.
And oh yeah, I was like, free food and money. Like, I need this job. Like, it's my
Yeah.
favorite fast food place. So that's kind of how I picked Jack in a Box. So I went in there, and I remember the manager, they were hiring, and he was like, you're just too young. I can't hire you. And it's a really funny story because I cursed in Portuguese. When he told me he couldn't fire me, I literally, under my breath, said some cuss words in Portuguese. And he looked at me and he was like, "Did you just cuss in Portuguese?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "My wife is from Brazil. I understood what you said." And I was like, and so I started talking to him in Portuguese. And he was like, "Oh, I can't speak the language." And I was like, "Oh,"
That's
he's like, "But,"
hilarious.
he goes, "But you also speak Spanish." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "If you can get your parents to sign off, I'm going to hire you." So that's how I got my first job.
Did you forge their signature? Or did you actually go and get it?
Absolutely.
I had no doubt in my mind. Something told me you forged that signature. But I'm gonna pause for a second here.
Okay.
Only thing I miss from California, and I love my cousin that lives out there, is Jack in the Box. I s
Really?
My mother swears to me we had Jack in the Box on the East Coast when I was real, real little. I'm like, "Mom, I don't." She's like, "We had them," because I a like, there's a little chubby kid that lives in my soul as it is,
Mm.
but go ahead and throw me an ultimate double bacon cheeseburger in there.
Oh, yeah, every
Oh,
Sunday.
like, my neck would be the size of my ears. You'd never get. Oh, God, I love those things.
Yeah.
Listen, folks, if
Um,
you've never had it, you do not. It's like on the East Coast, like, have you ever had Wawa?
I have not.
See that?
Wawa?
Wawa. Yep.
And now I must.
So it's kinda like where, like, you get to the like, you know how people, and I don't get it, how people get silly about, In-N-Out Burger?
Okay, yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like, In-N-Out's okay. Like, I'm not blowing
I
up,
love
"Oh my god." But Wawa it's a convenience store gas station
Oh.
in the Mid-Atlantic that has, like, an entire deli counter that you walk up and touch and order. They make smoothies now and everything, but at one point in time, you could actually go there and buy, like, a pound of deli meat there.
Oh, wow.
Wawa's
Okay,
like
that's why they're called Wawa, because
No,
they're wow.
Wawa's like some Native American term for a goose.
Oh.
Like, that's their symbol is a goose. You'll look it up after we're done.
Okay,
So
okay.
so you get this job at my favorite fast food restaurant that's not on the East Coast. I
Mhm.
so miss it. Oh, so good. So you get this. I mean, do we graduate from high school? We get back into
Oh,
school? What
no.
happened?
So I did try to keep going, despite not, being wherever I was. And I had some great adults in my life that were driving and understood, like, hey, she wants to get to school, and they would actually take me to school. I mean, sometimes I was as far as, so my high school was Glendale High, and then I got kicked out. That's another story. I got kicked
This
out
is
of
what
high
we're here
school.
for, a story. So why did we get kicked out of high school? We don't skip over things. Bring it back. So why did we get kicked out?
All right. So I'm not exactly too sure what the drama was. There was a girl that had a gang, and she didn't really like me,
Gang, gang.
and she had me jumped.
Oh, shit.
What she didn't know was that my stepfather is a Brazilian gorilla and raised me as such in the home. I had a punching bag in my bedroom, no joke.
Oh,
So
shit.
I'm actually a trained fighter. So they got me in a circle in front of my high school, and they thought they were going to jump me. And what ended up happening was I capoeiraed their asses. And
Capoeira. Like, like,
You know
like
what?
I
You just
watched that.
cannot make this shit up, bro. Like,
Like I watched that movie. What was that movie? There was a movie about capoeira.
yes.
Like so, were you like doing handstands and like kicking somebody
Oh,
in the top
dude,
of their
it
head?
was horrible. So the police were called, right? The police were called, and a bunch of us had to go into the police station. And I had hair in my hands. I did some damage, and I had this one little bruise on the top of me, this tiny little bruise. And the cops were like, I remember the policeman said to my mom, he was like, "That's all she has? Like these girls are damaged, and all she has is this tiny little bruise." And anyway, because of the
Were they like
outcome,
legit cholo women, like with like the
so we
eyebrows just
were like still
completely gone?
14 years old.
Oh, okay.
But yes, but yeah, it was the whole thing. Yeah,
Oh, that's so.
it was a gang. I don't remember the name, but it was
I
definitely,
love
they
it.
had their own. I guess in my age group at that time, they're called cliques.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Click.
So they were a
I
clique,
mean, were they
but
rocking it? Were they rocking it?
not that hard. Not 90s style. I mean, I guess
I
we
mean,
were
come
in
on.
the 2000s. No, we
Listen, I
they
20 years in the Marine Corps. I joined in '94. I met dudes from all over the country,
yeah,
so I knew all about like yeah, dude,
yeah,
I knew
yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah, no, they weren't that extreme. I mean, posers, I guess, but anyway, you know who you are. No,
You know who
but,
you are, and Jen whooped your
right?
ass.
No, fuck around and find out. But I don't even know why it happened, but it did, and it was horrible. The school was they kicked us all out, and it was so funny because we all got kicked out of school to all get then transferred to Hoover High. So it was like, let's kick them all out of the school. We don't want them in our school. So we'll send them to the other Glendale school where they can all just be together there. It was like, what the hell?
Why do I feel like
But
that's like like Hoover sounds like a very familiar name of a school. Like that's a fairly well-known school.
in Glendale?
Yeah, like it's the name of it sounds familiar. I don't know anything over there. Like if I told
Well,
you
it's
where I
a
went to high school, you'd
resident.
be like, I never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, that happened. That's why I got kicked out of high school because I got in a fight and I won and they couldn't do anything else with me, which was terrible because I was in track and cross country. I had a 4.8 GPA. Like I was killing it. I was in drama club. I was a thespian. I also started the first screenwriting directing class in my high school. I got it petitioned and signed and everything, and the drama instructor agreed to teach the class.
So I mean, kind of going back here for a minute, for somebody who was, decided, hey, I'm gonna hit the streets and live this type of a life, you know, done with, you had sound like you had very strict parents that were
Yeah.
trying to kind of like, hey, this is, don't fall into some of the American traps. This is what we see. We want to keep you
Mhm.
here, and you're fighting against two different cultures, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But you were still academically strong, you were still in a good position, you were still trying to make it happen, so how do we not graduate? Even if it's transferring schools.
Well, you get pregnant at 17,
Fair enough.
and then your school kicks you out for being pregnant and sends you to the what was it called? Something daily.
Day school.
And yeah, so like a special daily school where they get all the kids that are like from juvie, and surprise, those girls were there. And now I'm pregnant and trying to graduate, and I had to stop going. I was afraid for my pregnancy.
I
So
can understand that. So, I mean,
GED.
well, at least you went and got your GED, and that's
Oh yeah.
interesting, like, that's such a late '90s, early 2000 thing that was still happening, like, "You're pregnant, you gotta get out of the school. We don't want
Oh yeah.
anybody else to see that."
They
I
could
don't
catch it.
Yeah, yeah, it's contagious. It's contagious. It's in the water. It's
Yeah.
absolutely in the water. So, how do we go from all these things to now you're from a caregiver to a CEO? You got different multiple successful healthcare companies. Like, how do we make that transition? Because let's be honest, the stuff you're saying you should be a statistic. You should be like
Oh, definitely.
you should be so mad that you're not getting your SNAP benefits right now. Like you should be
Oh, I
absolutely
did.
pissed.
I
But
did
I'm
get
saying
my
like right now.
benefits.
But I'm talking about like right now, you should
Don't
be like
gain them
so
back.
yeah, now you're like the rest of us. We're like, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill that pot
Yeah.
back up. which I still can't understand.
So
If the government shut down, why are you still taking my taxes, you assholes?
yeah,
That
right.
doesn't work.
But that's actually, you know what? That's a very good topic to speak on because I was a welfare mom. I was getting help from the system. I had to. I'm a 17-year-old homeless girl with a baby in her tummy. What else was I supposed to do?
Right, right.
I took the advantage of what my government was offering. But what I did do was I took that money and I put my butt in school and I furthered my education. And I sacrificed time with my daughter. I wasn't a home mom. I was a working, studious mom because I knew that if I didn't do that then when she was little, that when she was older, she was going to become more expensive. And the more these children grow up, the more money you need to support them. You know, if I wanted her to have this great life that I envisioned for her while I was growing her inside of me, I needed to put up, you know, it was time to put up or shut up now that she's actually here. So she was actually my driving force for everything. But the welfare system is truly amazing. I am very sad when I hear things about they're going to cut it out or that kind of stuff. And I'm equally as upset when I see or hear about people that are abusing it or not using it in the proper way, because I am a perfect example of what happens when you utilize the system properly, of when
You
you take
took
that
advantage of it
help.
in the right way.
Exactly.
And look, folks, if you're out there watching Jennifer and you're looking to get some more information or you want to see what she's got going on, you can find her on Instagram at From Jenn, Jen, to Jen, Gen. If you have questions, you have comments, you're curious about things, drop your questions in here. This is live. I know there's some folks out there watching right now. So as all this is going on, and I really find that part very interesting where you say you kept going. What was some of the reactions? Because it sounds like, if I'm hearing you right, you can correct me if I'm wrong, mom was still around. You had stepdad, Brazilian stepdad that was raising you, Cuban dad around in all this, yes or no? So
No,
he's not around.
I met him when I was 27 on the phone, and
Okay.
then in person, I'd only just met him a year ago. I went out to see him for my birthday.
Interesting. So you're living with these two folks. They're seeing you do these things, and I'm just, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking most Hispanic families I know, mom's job, raise that kid, get that kid going, keep that kid honest, keep that kid moving. What was the reaction from them when you were like, no, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to do these things, I got to do this other stuff, I need y'all to hold down the fort while I'm doing it? What was the reactions like?
Hold on the fort while I'm doing it. Who specifically? My parents?
Yeah, your parents, like, how was their reaction to,
So,
like
so
you
my
being out?
so so my mom is actually amazing. You know, she's definitely not. It's hard to talk, you know, to say about like the reason why I ran away from home and stuff, because my mom is actually my business partner now. And everything I
Really?
do, yeah. So she's the owner of everything.
We're getting
And she's my biggest fan and my biggest supporter and
bless you.
my role model, her and Madonna. But yeah, so I think her story is an epic one of its own, and it really hones in also on, you know, the psychology behind the cycle of abuse, and how if you see your loved one, your parent, you know, being treated and accepting a certain lifestyle, you then grow yourself to acknowledge it as normacy, and you don't understand that you yourself are in a cycle, and then it continues to perpetuate, right? So,
Gotcha.
and also part of healing and growing is forgiving and understanding the other human condition. Like there are reasons why things unfolded the way that they did that you can't understand when you're a child until you're an adult and you can see the forest for the trees, right? So, you know, where I was angry in my youth and resentful and held a finger and thought what I wanted to out of rebellion and spite and just selfishness, you know, not seeing the whole picture of what it is to be a hardworking immigrant woman in another country with children in a situation with, you know, that neither party are happy in. But yeah, sorry, I just kind of got.
No, go with it, because I was actually gonna ask you, when you say you were angry, what did you feel like you were angry at with those things? I know we might be skipping over some shit, but this is way more interesting. I'm gonna tell you that now. Like,
Okay.
this is
Spotlight.
very interesting
Yeah.
to me.
So, I mean, I guess when you're in your adolescence, you're just angry or you don't understand. Like, you didn't ask to be here. For me, I was an alternative gothic girl. So, on top of everything else. Yeah, surprise, right? No.
I would have never known by the tattoos. I would have
No.
never picked up on it.
Oh, dude, every day was Halloween. I swear, from like middle school through to like had to get a real job. It was like,
So,
anyway.
so I mean, so are we talking The Cure, like real,
Oh yeah.
like the real deal, like The Cure, or are we talking My Chemical Romance?
No, we're talking like The Cure, Susie and the Banshees, like
Banshees,
going
Peter
old
Murphy.
school.
Peter Murphy, yeah. Listen, I may not look the part, but trust me, I know the part.
I
I can still remember seeing.
knew I liked you.
I can still remember watching. Like, I was a grunge kid. Like '94,
Oh, grunge.
I was smack in the middle of that shit. I'm 49 now. I was.
Dude, did you know I was just coming back from the Aftershock Festival this last time? And I'm thinking, I'm like, where the hell are all the grunge bands? How come there's never a grunge festival? You know what? Rest in peace. The majority of them are gone on heroin overdoses.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about the biggest ones that were out there: STP, and Alice in Chains,
Mm-hmm.
Nirvana,
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden. There's
Mm-hmm.
4 of them that were monsters that are gone. For whatever reason, Eddie Vedder likes ukuleles now.
Thank
Uh,
God.
he's in the
That was one
ukulele
of the
music.
best concerts I've ever seen.
Never
Pearl
seen him.
Jam. Oh my
Never
God,
seen
you have to. The man is amazing. He was literally hanging off of the ceiling on the chandeliers.
See, I would go see them, but then you think about other bands like God, Bumblebee song. God, I can't think of the name of the song right now. Bumblebee
Blind
Girl.
Melon.
Blind Melon. He's another one that's gone. Like, our musicians from that era, all,
Yeah.
they either started a 45 or shot it through their veins, and they're
Hmm.
gone. Like,
Yeah.
they were, I mean, and what was it? CNN did a thing about 90s music. Complete left turn, folks. Welcome to the Left Turn Show. I'm getting into some shit that doesn't matter
Well,
about
we can
anything
keep
about
going
Jennifer.
on this.
But yeah, they did like a whole thing about 90s music and comparing the 90s genre of music to other eras. The closest
Yeah.
you get is a little bit of that late 60s stuff, but
Mhm.
past there's nothing in modern music that compares to what we had in the 90s,
Yes.
creating an entire genre. Like, my kids are like, I'm into alt rock. I'm like, that's not alt rock. Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, until you listen to Susan Vega or you listen to what's God, I could go through like my playlist of, like, I break out my CDs. It's like,
Oh my God. Will you blow the dust off them?
my kids are like, are these things frisbees? I saw
Oh.
that on YouTube. I'm like, shut up! I hate your whole face. Um, Yeah, I'm not like, I go through my CD, and I think this is a very 90s things, and I'm curious, like, we're on this topic, we're gonna talk about it for a minute. I think this is a very 90s thing. I think we were the first real genre of music lovers
Mhm.
that we really like. We had Leonard Skinner, Van Halen, Van Hagar, because Sammy Hagar.
Mhm.
We had that, and then all of a sudden, that same kid listened to an NWA, Snoop Dogg, they got into the
Run
East
DMC.
Coast stuff, Eric B. and Rakim, KRS-One, like, you had that, but
Mhm.
also they probably had a Banda CD.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
like, I've got a Banda CD. I know nothing
Yeah.
on that CD. I just was like,
I love that.
this is kinda cool, but, like, we were the first real generation that was like, yeah,
I'm eclectic.
I don't care
Yeah.
if you're gay, straight, whatever. Do you make good music? I'll listen to it. I'm pretty cool with that. Like, that
Yeah.
was but you were in that whole thing, like, what part of Cali did you grow up in again? Like, San
Southern
what?
California,
Southern, so Orange County?
Los Angeles County.
Okay, because like, Orange, I think about, like, that was skater punk music. That was, like, the
Right.
entire punk
Soft.
scene. Yeah, like they had the punk scene locked down.
Mhm,
California punk is, that's Red Hot Chili Peppers world. People don't
mhm.
think about them like that, but yeah, I mean, it was different. Like it was that I definitely grew up in that era where people were like, "Oh, I want to go to Cali and see what that's all about." And I'm like, nah. I'm
Yeah,
the guy who gets stuck in California during May and June. Tell everybody what happens in California during May and June in Southern California.
rain and fires.
May gray in the June gloom.
Yep.
The only time the Marine Corps ever sent me that place. So you're doing all these things, but let's get back to it. I know we left
Okay.
turning this thing. I'm welcome to my world. I'm kind of squirrely in the brain. I left turn and then get right back into it. I do my best. So you're over there. You're dealing with you're getting yourself together. Did you end up getting your degree, or what did you get certified in?
Oh, yeah, I'm a nurse now. I'm a
Okay,
licensed nurse in California.
RN, LPN,
LPN.
BSRN, LPN. So then tell me a little bit about that you and was your mother a nurse also?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
so
so she's been a nurse for going on 40 years now, and then I'm going on 20, well, my daughter's gonna be 22, so yeah, 21 years.
you don't look old enough to have been doing it for 20 years. Um, whatever you're eating, whatever succubus souls that you've been taking away, keep doing it. Whatever
Okay.
whatever magic you learned from watching the movie The Craft, keep going for it.
The Craft. You know, they had real magic on there.
Oh, I had no idea. So then tell me a little bit about these companies that you started.
Sure. So the baby of them all is Heaven Sent Senior Care. It was founded in 2018, and it was kind of a licking my wounds company because my first company I ever actually opened was in the state of Arizona. I'd moved out there for a couple of years to try to salvage my first marriage. Um, and so while I was out there, I was working as a home caregiver and nursing. And there was this particular patient, and she needed help in the home and didn't want to leave her home. And there was so much. And I was like, you know what? You have this big, beautiful home. Why don't we just turn this into a place and you just stay here and manage it yourself? You know? And so that's what we did. And then when it came time to start seeing the fruit of that fruition, I had to move back home to get divorced because in California, when you get married in California, you have to come back to get divorced here.
Oh,
You
really?
can't do it in another state.
That's
Yeah, that's what I was told. So I came home. And then I was home, and when you switch states, you have to do it's called like a nursing. Oh man, I can't think of it.
almost like a
But
relicensing.
yeah, you have to repetition in that state to get licensed in that state. So it's kind of like you have to take another test and turn in all your documents, and it's a wait. You have to wait several months. So when I came back, I was in a lower position because I was unlicensed. So I was working as a caregiver again. And while I was doing that, I was kind of like, hey, like I've been doing this for years. I kind of know the whole ins and outs of it. And I have the clientele. Like I know how to talk to people and market and let them know about services for these other companies. What if I started doing it for myself? So I brought the idea to my mom, and she's again always been extremely supportive of me and thought it was a good idea. So we just kind of jumped right in. We had a conversation about it the next day. She called me and she was like, "Hey, we have an LLC," and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's go."
Mom was ready to rock and roll with this
Oh
thing, huh?
yeah, she wasn't kidding. Well, neither was I, but that's kind of the connection that we have with getting this stuff going. And I think that it's very important to for the viewers to know that you don't rise to the top alone. You need somebody there to support you, to teach you, bounce off of, grow with, collaborate, put the money in, because everything costs money. Let's be real. Nothing is free. Everything is a sacrifice.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah.
Well, that's wild. So as you're getting into this, and entrepreneurship is something that I love, and I love talking to people who have gotten
Yeah.
into the entrepreneurial space. Um, Obviously, mom was supportive of you. Your daughter sounds like at that point she probably was a teenager. It sounds like.
Yes. So in 2018, she would have been 15, 16. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 15, 16 years old. Now she's got to move back from Arizona to Cali, is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
hearing.
Mm-hmm.
What was her vibe when you said, "Hey, look, mom's going to go ahead and forego this steady paycheck that's going to keep us moving. And I'm going to just make a left turn into some shit. I understand it, but I've never owned my own business. What was her vibe? Because it sounds like mom supported you, but what was her vibe?
So she didn't really get a say. I didn't really let her in too much on what was going on. I kept working my regular jobs the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel safe because I did have a child, and I did have my son as well. He came shortly after. He was born in 2019.
Ah,
So yeah, so my children again are my rock, my pushing point. There was no way I was going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to be a successful entrepreneur. Let me quit my job." No, sir. I just worked 5 times as hard.
isn't it a beautiful thing?
Yeah.
How is that? And I've asked other entrepreneurs this, and this is a question. How hard is it when you're an entrepreneur? Now, I don't know if you have any employees or not. And look, folks, if you're interested in what Jen's got going on, you can find her at From Jenn, Jen to Jen, Gen. And you can see what she's got going on. If you got questions, those of you that are watching us live, please drop your questions in here. But what was it like? Let me see. So I lost my entire train of thought because that's the way my brain works. But what I was thinking about here is, being an entrepreneur, having other people working for you. How difficult has it been for you when you're, how hard you're willing to work? No one's going to work as hard as you, but gosh, you want them to work that hard. How hard was that for you to accept as like a reality?
That is still such a hard pill to swallow, honestly, because I come from a background of such strong work ethic. I mean, my first job was at 15 and a half. Like, I wasn't even legal enough to work, and I wanted to work, and I pushed my way into the workforce. And I've always been a very inquisitive. I'm a healthcare professional, so my brain is very like, I want to know answers to all the questions, and that's kind of how I built my knowledge and my confidence to be able to do what I do now, to be the entrepreneur that I am, and run these companies, because I did study, I did ask the questions of my superiors, of the bosses, and I was always an overachiever. So if they told me, oh, just clean this area, I cleaned the whole room. Right. If they
Right.
said, oh, I want this stack of paperwork done, I made sure the whole table, the whole desk was cleared. So now the employees I've had to reprimand and say, hey, like, please, do this, do that, whatever. It's been really hard for me because I'm a self-starter, so I don't really know how to inspire that in others, and I know that's part of being a great leader. So it is something I've struggled with, is being able to take the reins of the boss and not kind of want to be the friend. I always,
Tough.
I say, like, if you think you can get a chance to do this, when really it should be, I need you to do this by today.
Right. I need this done.
So yeah.
And
So
Cody, you
it's
may have to re-explain this question here in a second. She wants to know
okay.
what's her human design? I don't know what the hell that means. Do
What's
you know?
my human design? Sparkles. No. I'm
Listen,
sorry.
you probably hit the nail on the head with Cody because she's gonna be like, Cody gets mad because I say things like Cody runs a program for elephant tinder in South Africa. That's not true.
Oh.
But what it
Oh,
is
that's
she
not.
she runs
Oh,
a thing
okay.
called runs a thing called We Joy, and it focuses on one type of animal, one situation, helping them out instead of like a
Oh,
World
that's
Wildlife
lovely.
Foundation. And the last one was like these elephants, Harry and Sally. So I always call it Elephant Tinder. I'm like, she runs Elephant
Oh.
Tinder. That's what I call it. Well, while Cody answers our question of what does she mean by what's her human design, because I don't know what that means, and now I want to know. Real quick, we're getting close. Oh wait, she threw it out here. She said there's a thing called human design. Some people are generators, manifestors, etc. I was just curious.
Manifest.
You're a manifester. We're going
Mhm.
to talk about that in a minute. Here he goes with the elephant tinder. Funny to me. All right, real quick, folks, and we'll get back into this. We got to have our New Scotland Spirits last call here. This week's episode is proudly brought to you by New Scotland Spirits, and we're raising a glass for something special. Monday, November 10th, just so you know, folks, if we're doing a special episode on Monday, I'm going to announce it now. I was going to wait till then, but I'll announce it now. Monday, November 10th marks 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. 2.5 centuries of honor, courage, and commitment to every Marine out there. Thank you. You've earned every toast and then some. And if you're pouring a drink to celebrate, make it sure it matches the legacy. New Scotland Spirits is handcrafted whiskey made in upstate New York. Bold, unapologetic, and built with backbone. Local grains, small batch pride, and zero shortcuts. This isn't just whiskey, it's a statement. Visit newscotlandspirits.com. Find your bottle. New Scotland Spirits, distilled with purpose, raised with respect. Now let's get back into it here. You like that one?
Yeah.
I'm addicted to ChatGPT, if you didn't know it. Me and Cody hates it because Cody says I'm burning the ocean up. I tell Cody, if I burn the ocean up, that makes rain. Rain comes back to the ground and it all comes back. It can't go nowhere. It has to go somewhere. See, that's how it works.
True. That's true.
All right. So we've got, how many companies now are we running?
Oh, okay. Haven't done this in a second.
Oh shit.
Haven't done senior care.
Is any one of them a distillery or dispensary?
No.
Okay, so keep going.
No, they are not. So Heaven Sun Senior Care, Twilight Care Solutions, Golden Souls Home Health,
Well,
Angel Care Hospice.
What does each one of them do?
Okay, so Angel Care Hospice is a hospice where we provide care for the elderly community, 60 and above, that have extenuating diagnosis. They're at max level of care. That's Angel Care Hospice. Then we have Golden Souls Home Health, which is for individuals that are older in age, and they're doing things like having to have a catheter regularly. They just are getting out of the doctor's office for minor surgeries, cataracts. They are, having strokes where they need more help in the home. And these are all covered by insurance. Then we have Heaven Sent Senior Care, which is the caregiving company. It is a for-profit company, so we do not use the insurance payments for this one. It is a family's pocket. But this one is for families who can't provide the adequate amount of care in the home for their loved one, and their loved one doesn't qualify for the government programs. So they're in a position where they have no choice but to come out of pocket and pay for care in the home. These individuals that we dispatch out to the families are caregivers who are trained and CPR certified and everything. So it is a little bit different because it's not like we're just hiring anyone off the street. We have people with backgrounds and some education that we bring on board. And then I have Placebo Productions, which is kind of me going back to my roots with the whole From Jenn to Generations. Actually, did you know that From Jenn to Generations is I'm the test subject. This is an experiment.
Well, tell me more.
I started Placebo Productions because when I was in my youth, I'm a writer, so I wanted to be a lyricist, if not like a ghost writer, then at least the person that's in front, right? But then as time went by and I got more serious into my medical career, I realized that it just wasn't for me to be the front person any longer. But that didn't mean that I didn't want to still support other people's dreams and kind of be in the background to watch them succeed and kind of get the joy from that. So I started Placebo Productions to kind of bring the media arts back into my life and bring my skills and knowledge back out as well. And then as I was starting it up, I was like, I don't have any artists. Who's going to take me seriously? Who's going to be like, yeah, I'll sign up with that production company. They know what they're doing. I have no idea.
I'll sign up with this random person who ain't got shit.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So then I was like, well, you know what? I got some stuff to say. Let's see if I can get out there. And so, if there's any artists out there, we do everything from books. We're actually starting to produce some short films and movies that are going to be coming up. Very exciting. Yeah. So open for everything. Just hit me up.
Little bit of all of it. I mean, I find that interesting. Like the production company side, I get it. You had that going on. So if I heard that right, was that 3 separate companies?
I think it's 6.
Holy shit. And real quick, so Cody says, "Yup, AI is bad for the environment. Tell that to all the animals getting jacked up because of it. The water is warming
Oh,
up, the ice is melting, and the polar bears are starving. You do know
oh,
polar bears will go miles to eat a human. Just I want to throw that out there to you. Like,
to
oh, you
eat
didn't know
a
about that?
human? No.
Oh, like polar bears have like this crazy, ridiculous snout on them that they have been known to travel miles in search of like something they've gotten a smell of."
Oh my
And then
Lord.
she said, "Very cool, congrats." But I just want you to know, like, and actually, because they're hungry. Cody ain't got nothing to do. Here's one for you. Here's a stupid fact that I'm just gonna throw out onto this episode. Do you know what color a polar bear's fur is?
It's not white. Brown. No.
Polar bear's fur is actually clear.
Clear.
If you were to look at a polar bear's hair, they're actually hollow, the hairs are. So when you bunch them together, it looks white, but each
Huh.
individual hair is clear, and the reason that they're clear is the same as your windows in your house where you have, like, a vapor barrier. It creates
Mhm.
a vapor barrier, so when the sun hits it, it heats the air up. That's how they stay warm.
Oh, wow. I
Completely
never
worthless
knew
piece of knowledge. And then she said,
that.
"Let them eat a few humans, there's plenty humans, there's plenty of 'em." Listen, there's a few that I would let a polar bear eat. We're getting close to the end here there, folks. Let us know. Oh, my man, Scott, if you're still out there, brother, always a pleasure to see you. Anybody who's got any questions, Ruth Phillips, what's up, Ruth? If you got questions, we're getting close to the end here. So I mean, I got to tell you, Jen, I'm absolutely super, super excited that we were able to get this. Jen was supposed to be on last week. Then
Yeah.
that was a whole thing. So Jen was supposed to be on last week. I didn't have her on for last week, and then it was showing like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I don't do anything at 9 o'clock in the morning with the show. And
Yeah.
then what was funny is the guests that was supposed to be on last week weren't able to make it. Like 10 minutes, literally 5 minutes and 24 seconds prior. Cody was
Oh
like, "Yep,
no.
I'll jump on live," and then Cody jumped on, and then here we got Jen this week. So what's our next adventure? I mean, you've done so much. I mean, I love hearing stories like yours of people who are like,
Thanks.
"Yeah, I took a shitty hand and still won the game."
So, in true fashion of entrepreneur, I'm starting a new business.
Do it. Do
It's
it.
going to be a mobile IV. So we're going to be dispatching nurses to your homes to give you your IV, baby. So, we're going to cover everything from skincare to weight loss stuff to aging, rejuvenation to what was it? If you need that
Is this like infusion care or is this like
electrolytes,
the vitamin B, like the big like vitamin B trend where it's like, you
all of
know,
it.
I've been partying all night. You know,
Exactly. You call me.
I
I'll
I
have you
I
up and running in an hour.
I had a friend, that's what she did. She was doing that in Baltimore. She was working
Mhm.
for a company and that's what they did. Like dudes would be out partying, they'd be like, "Oh, we're all hammered." And she would come in like early in the morning or late that night and just be like,
Yeah.
she's an RN, but she got caught in that whole, like, in Maryland, I don't know if it's same in Cali, where she got caught in that whole, "Oh, you're not a BSRN? You're not really an RN." She's like, "I've been doing this for 20 years before you changed this."
Whoa, that
Yeah, that was a
sucks.
big yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
Maryland thing where they were like, "Oh, we need you to become a BSRN." She's like, "No, I've already
Yeah.
got my RN. I've been do" At that point, she had been doing it for at least 20 years, and they changed it. She's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not going back to school
But there's
just
a
like."
shortage in nursing.
Oh, yeah,
There's
and
a
they're always
shortage.
and it
Don't get me started on that.
oh, it's a whole that's a whole thing. I think this is a curiosity question as somebody who owns a business myself as an entrepreneur, and
Mhm.
I have obviously, I've said this many times on here, I own the budget blinds, I own 5 of those. Uh,
Ooh.
so that's me. Um,
Uh-huh.
I'm curious though, how have you been able to start these extra companies? I mean, obviously, you're following that kind of that Grant Cardone model of if you already know one business, don't try to recreate a new thing. Do what you already know and just kind of dovetail off of that. But
Mhm.
how has it been as an entrepreneur to kind of keep Hey, well, I'm going to start this one now. Okay, we've got this up and running. It's stable. I've got somebody to Are you managing all of them or you got somebody to manage them? How are you
So
doing this?
I co-manage them with my mom. That's why
Okay.
I precipiced with my mom as my business partner. We're 50.
Okay.
Yeah. We tackle things head on together, bounce things off at each other. I mean, I really, without her, I wouldn't be where I am now. I really did need a partner in all of this. I don't think there's any way I could own 6 companies going on to the 7th one right now if I was doing it alone. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is we were very fortunate that in our careers we held the same nursing titles, but we did separate sides of the
Things.
spectrum of the care. So
Gotcha.
with our knowledge separated and brought combined, we're able to do what we do.
Our powers combined.
Captain
That's
Planet.
right. Have you ever seen the SNL Captain Planet thing when they're like, hey, Captain Planet's like, I'm Captain Planet. And SNL's like, let's just
He's
set
a
this dude.
hero. No.
Here. Do you remember Toxie, the Toxic Avenger?
Of course.
So I actually have on my cell phone Lloyd Kaufman,
Mhm.
who is the guy who created the Toxic Avenger and is the creator of Trauma Films, all those
Okay.
movies. He's on my phone, and I interviewed his former CFO, the guy who like took all those things into market, all the like toxic. Oh, we lost her. How did we lose her? Where did she go? We lost you, Jennifer. Where did you go? There's only minutes left. Jennifer, come back. Oh no, she is absolutely spazzing out right now. I guess my story wasn't that interesting. I thought it was for a moment, but we lost her. Come back, Jennifer. If you can, come back. Here, I'll send her a text. I'm still on if you can come back. She's probably losing her mind right now. I think I might kick her from the show and then. Oh, there she is. She's back. At least her face is back. She's still frozen. Are you there? Can you hear me, Jennifer? Oh no. She's listen, folks, as somebody who has had these problems before and you end up freezing, your pucker factor on a live show when you freeze is absolutely ridiculous. You're losing your mind. You're like, why is this frozen? How do I get this back? What do I got to do? So right now, poor Jennifer is absolutely losing her shit as she's trying to get the show to come back. Are you back?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
Listen, I as somebody who's been doing live for June was 5 years. So what are we at? Over 5.5 years. I've been doing live shows. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
I know. I
I was like,
I
oh
know what to
no, they're
expect.
gonna end without me.
Nope, we're not going to end without you. So the next business is coming along. We've got the book coming. How far along? Because we've only got like a minute or so. How far along are we on the book? Is the book like? Let's be honest now. We're going to be honest with each other. Is the book
Okay.
like the book is happening, or the book is I would like it to happen?
No, the book is it's happening.
All right.
Yeah, everything is happening. I don't speak in terms of if I'm gonna do it. I do it.
Okay. I can tell. And so we've got a 22-year-old. We've got a
Mm,
let me do the math here. We've got a 7-year-old, 6-year-old,
he's gonna be 6.
6-year-old. I have 8
Mm.
children myself, so I know how that works.
You have 8 children?
Yep,
Oh boy.
my wife had 4, I had 3, and we went half on one, like the song said.
Okay, okay.
"You gonna
I
go
was
half
gonna
on a
say,
baby?"
poor wife.
As the song says, "Go half on a baby." So, well, we're getting ready to close things up here, folks. Like I said, we are gonna do it's a rarity. I don't like to do things outside of the normal schedule. But we have decided after talking to a few folks, we're going to do a show on this Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday. I have no idea what the show is going to be about. it'll be about at least half a bottle of whiskey is what I'll tell you. We'll have us a good time. We'll chitty chat. Maybe Jennifer will pop in and watch us live, and she'll be like, "Oh, this is amazing." Uh,
Yeah.
she'll join us here live. If you know another Marine out there and you want to throw it out there to them, we're going to take stories. We'll give every Marine who pops up an opportunity to kind of. I'll give you the link. You pop one. You tell your story. Hey, I was with this unit, that unit. This is what I did. Tell your piece, and we'll send you on your way. There'll be plenty of us on there, guys that I grew up with. And I say, and that's a real Marine Corps term. There's a Marine Corps term for you. I spent my entire life in Baltimore, but when I say I grew up, I say the Marine Corps. They are two different animals. That is where I came from. So we're going to do that on Monday, but I'm bringing it. I think she's from California. Are you into the whole ghost things and all that stuff?
Yes, I
I
know
had
who you're
no doubt.
talking about. Are you talking about Patty?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're gonna love her.
This is the
Oh
second
my
time Patty's been
gosh.
on. This is her second
So
time.
really? Oh my God, I
Oh,
love her.
yeah,
So do you
Patty,
remember how I forget your our friend's name that asked what kind of human
Lisa.
I was, and I said,
Oh,
yes,
Cody.
I'm a manifester. Patty's the one who told me years ago. We're talking, man, 20 years ago. She told me I was a manifester.
There you go, Cody.
Changed my world.
Say that. Yeah, Pat. This will be Patty's second time on the show. And for those you don't know who we're talking about, talking about Patty Negri. She is like in the world of paranormal. She's an OG. She's been doing it for a long time. She texted me the other day. She's like, Sean, I'll get back to you with some stuff. I'm currently on a plane going to California for like, I don't know, like Vampire Week or something like. She tried to hook
Yes.
me.
So I know I was supposed to be there too. It was in New Orleans and it was the Endless Night Vampire Ball.
She
Yes.
tried
So she
hooking me
just
up
got
with
back.
some guy in Cali, but he wouldn't respond to the emails. Who was like, I don't know, like supposed to be the king of the vampires or something like that. Who's
There is such a man or a vampire. I know we were talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. She tried hooking that up with the last time her and I talked. So we're gonna have Patty on. We're gonna be talking about like, hey, what goes bumping in the night, what you should expect, how you get those things going. So make sure you join us for that. Now, Jennifer, don't log off on me here in a moment.
Okay.
I know you've binged like that. We're over 300 episodes here. We're deep in this game. We're deep in the podcast game. I know you've been watched all of them because that's what all my guests do. They watch all 300 episodes, so they're completely prepared. But just in case you might have forgotten, as we do in every episode, the guest always gets the final word. So, what's our final word tonight?
Achieve.
Alrighty, folks, be sure to push your stool in. This has been a Second Front podcast presentation found on Apple, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found.